Right. Ooh. Just putting some frozen bloodworm in the same spot. One female's already smelt it and she's already up there. But it will start dropping down into the corner. There she is, grabbing a few bits. Right, now, if I leave that there, on that corner there, you should be able to see the other newts. Probably not the one at the top because she knows it's up there now. You'll see them migrate over into that left hand corner where the bloodworm is gradually dropping because they're picking up the scent. And I'll leave that running and keep an eye on it. And you'll get an idea of how going from just putting the bloodworm in the tank to how newts pick up scent in water. I don't think there's any species of newt any better at doing it than the alpine newt. Even as a kid, you know, they can all do it, but the alpine newts would always pick up the scents first and become the most animated and search around like little dogs sniffing around in the grass because they've picked up some scent or other that intrigues them. Typical, isn't it? But they won't do it now that I'm filming it from the get-go. I did feed them earlier, so maybe it'll take them a bit longer to migrate over to it. Shouldn't feed them much. Did think they'd late in the day if they come back and do this, and I can see a male there. He's got his head tilted down, so he's obviously on the hunt. He has a scent. He does seem to be interested. We'll just leave it running, see if he ends up in that corner while I'm trying to do other household chores. I'm uploading things I need to do to the internet, to my various blogs and things that I'm very behind on due to the incompetent NHS and the lying and the cheating that they do in order to screw everybody to save money. Because you're only worth anything if you've got any money. I get behind, and because of my condition I have trouble focusing, and I'm a little forgetful. And I went on and looked on my phone files to get a couple of files I know I needed to do, me having a go at somebody. An ultrasound guy left me in pain and let everybody else with later appointments have their test done, left me outside in pain. So when I went in, I demanded to know why the hell he'd done that and had a go at him about it, and I was recording him. And then when I went on the phone to get the two files, I realised there was quite a few pictures and videos and recordings, and I don't know if I've posted them or not. It's really annoying. I don't really know what's worse, is the sort of not being able to get things done because I
fibromyalgia causes a lack of concentration and focus, which I have noticed. I can't say I haven't. I'm sort of glad that I now know what's behind all this that's been going on with me for years, but I had to discover it. I had to get a few things wrong along the way. That's the process. It's a process of elimination. Anything in life is. Unfortunately, people that are not very bright don't see it as that. They just go, oh, he's wrong. You know, because you've been proved wrong, once you're always going to be wrong. You don't get to what's right until you go through a few things that are wrong. Sometimes. Sometimes I don't need to go through things that are wrong. And in my blog, while you're looking at Newts, I make a prediction about a number of public offices. And if you're not from Britain, British public offices, which includes the police, the National Health Services, which by some strange reason is highly regarded around the world. If they knew half the things that went on in it, they would be the laughing stock of the world. Ombudsmen, which are all defrauding the taxpayer because none of them do what they appear to do. Only now are people beginning to find that out in the news media. And on top of that, the news media themselves, because, and this is how I like to do these things, because you can't search for what I'm about to tell you, so they won't know. But the journalists are up to no good and have been for a long time, and I have known for a long time. And unfortunately, while I did this on the blog, it had to run to like a 2-year period, because that's how long it takes them to ever do anything, and I need them to run through what I've asked them to do or what they need to do and what they're paid to do, to show you that they don't, and that they take their time, and that they're incompetent at it. And then even when they are aware of what it is, you know, they'll go do everything under the sun to not actually tell you. That way they save themselves and a load of other public offices a shed load of money, while standing behind you with a gigantic great big cat o' nine tails whip to make you go out and work, which is great if there's nothing wrong with you. But it's going to take a very long time for me to figure out a way to catch the media. So what I did was I put them in a position whereby they didn't really have a choice. I provided them with a load of data, but quite deliberately, not all of it. But it would have looked to them like it was all of it. 4 DVDs of 4.7 gigabytes each of them crammed full, meaning that they got about 18 gigabytes of data. They might have had a CD or another DVD follow-up, so they might have ended up with 5, some of them. And then I left it. Then I had friends thinking, well, you know, you've sent it to all the media, so if it's true, why isn't it in the newspapers? Why isn't it on TV? Because I sent it to the TV news networks and all the tabloids. I couldn't send 1 or 2. I had to send them to all of them to prove it. And then strangely similar stories to those I've covered started appearing in the news, and a couple of my friends started to notice. I would even be shown, sometimes when I walked in places, somebody would hold up a newspaper with a story of something I'd covered the year before online that they knew I'd sent to the media. that was kind of what I was hoping for, because what I thought was they wouldn't be able to cover me because it would be far too revealing, and their pally with many of the people in government, that just would not be on. So what I had to do is sort of kind of lead them into a trap. They'd have to cover the stories but not actually mention me, and that's what they started to do. And then I just waited and waited and waited, and there's one of my friends that noticed that died 2 years ago, and the other one ran away. Oh no, one died 3 years ago, and one ran away coming up to 2 years ago. No, that 3 years isn't right. I think one was 18 months ago. No, one's coming up to 2 years, the other one's 2.5 years. Old Ken died 2.5 years ago. Oh, I can't remember now. Ken died, and a while later, another friend of mine sort of ran away. Funny enough, it was the last time I ever saw him. He just clapped eyes on the Home Office document I had on a radicalised Muslim who'd been let in the country. And that's the whole thing, was nothing short of an absolute joke. I mean, either the UK Border Agency are completely incompetent, anyone that sees this file, and it got sent to the media. So either they were completely incompetent or they deliberately let him in. One of the two. In that particular cow. Because how they handled it after they let him in, if they deliberately let him in, was absolutely fucking terrible. My daughter could have done a better job. Well, in fact she did. She was involved in it all. And all I had to do was teach her a few things. How to spot certain patterns and signs. So now, all the media have been using my stories, but not publishing my original stories, nor mentioning me, well, not as far as I know. So far, I've gradually been revealing what I've been doing for 18 months. And the whole time that I've been doing things and putting things online, they've been appearing in the media. And more things appearing in the media. Whether or not these are coming off of my blogs, I don't know. But they definitely originate from me. And that was why I did everybody at the same time. There isn't anybody in Great Britain, or drop the great, there's nobody in Britain that could claim to come anywhere close to doing what I did and gathering all the evidence on everybody at the same time as I did, with a disability which causes me a lot of bodily pain and trouble with memory and forgetful and difficulty focusing and lack of concentration, which is why it wasn't too hard not to give everyone everything. So there's a lot of stuff that never appeared online at all, and that the media never got. And what's going to happen now is, over the next 6 months, some already have, they're going to start to realise what I've done. More importantly, the public are going to realise what I've done and how I've tricked them all. And it's not going to go down too well. I don't quite know how they're going to handle it, because each one of them are going to be shown up to be entirely incompetent, and they won't want to admit that a guy with my conditions and my problems, with my background and my history, has managed to do on my own, single-handedly, what a load of people paid far too much money, have spent years doing and gotten absolutely nowhere. That is why, and one of the reasons, they don't mention me. Because it would be too embarrassing. But then, that was the intention, for it to become embarrassing. Because it was the only way to get the British public, who are, for the most part of it, very naive and don't see things, and I know because I've seen these things for 20 years. And even my friends and family, it took me a long time to make them see. And I knew that if I could have that amount of difficulties with people that are close to me, I mean some trusted me on my word, unfortunately they all died. Ones left behind were a little harder to convince. Maybe it's because people don't want to admit that they weren't bright enough to see these things, so they can't be real. I don't know. Some sort of denial, can't accept faults of their own that they have, not that bright enough, don't like the fact that they could be easily fooled by a bunch of idiots working in public offices. Others think it's a fear factor thing, or you can't go up against these people because they will bump you off, is what I've heard from some people. You will disappear one day, this will happen, that will happen. I think some people just see too many James Bond movies. Besides, one of the other things that my condition does is it makes me, my mind is hyper wired all the time, which is probably why I've managed to do these things. But and probably why I get so frustrated with the blank bits. But I can do lots of things at the same time sometimes and work out the hardest things in a flash. And then other times I can't work out the easiest things if I sit there and think about it for hours. It's weird. But it comes to me eventually, somehow, some way. And that's part of my condition. That doesn't mean that I'm crazy, doesn't mean that I'm violent, doesn't mean I have a mental health issue. I'm just a little wired, have trouble relaxing, annoying. That's why my house ends up in a mess, and then the pain puts me off doing it. That's just some of the headaches I have to deal with on a daily basis, vomiting and other things. But anyway, yeah, so I don't really know why people just don't want to accept certain things. You know, maybe it's this idea that, no, they can't accept the fact there's no safety net there for when things go wrong. Illness or injury is the NHS, losing a job is the DWP. Somebody does something in a private firm or even a public office or a local council, if they think they'll lose a house, that the council will house them if it goes wrong and it's not their fault. But that is not there anymore, and they've spent a very long time hiding that fact from the majority of people. And yet people keep thinking, oh well, if we just go and vote in the other person at the next election, it will all be okay. I mean, how long? We've been heading down this road for 30 years, probably since 1980, with the same people, with the same statements, and the same promises, and the same lies. Did you really think that voting for the guy that was in last time is going to make a difference? And has anybody considered how angry and frustrated they'd be when they wait all this time for the next general election, vote in somebody, and then have nothing change, and maybe even get worse. Has anybody considered how angry, how heartbreaking, how soul destroying